Welcome to another Pike and Shot battle. This is just a friendly skirmish match versus Leonard, who I played a mirrored match earlier of Swedes versus Danes. This is just a one-off because I'm kind of busy with Digital League matches. I've got Ottoman Turks versus Imperial Austrian, both post 30 Years' War. So, because I've hosted the match, I believe I should be deploying up here. So the Ottoman Turks, no pikemen for their infantry, so squishable in the open, and their cavalry are all missile cavalry, so no impact capability, and swordsmen, which means they have no real melee capability against melee pistols unless the melee pistols are unsteady, somehow disrupted, disordered, etc., in which case we are at a distinct advantage. So we need to deploy defensively with our infantry and try to force movement with our lights. This isn't as easy as with earlier Ottoman lists because the earlier lists have the Akinjis, which are 32-point average light horse with just bow. Our only bow light horse cost 40 because they also have swordsmen. I'll grab them anyway because I like lights. For infantry, the Tefektis are skirmishing musketeers. I don't know that I'll make very much use of them. There isn't a lot of forest and such to hide in. I will be grabbing Janissaries, veteran Janissaries, and Azaps to hold villages and the like. They will need help from artillery and cavalry. Do I want spendy cavalry? I can't get all spendy cavalry. If I get 2, then I can get bow or carbine armed Marriott Sipahis. The bow suffers against armor, but is slightly better against cavalry overall. And usually I'm fighting cavalry with cavalry. So we'll grab the bow armed varieties, ignore the skirmishing musketeers, and hope we haven't made any terrible choices. Okay, and deployment. And I was also completely wrong about which side of the map I was on. That's okay. Maybe I would have grabbed a little bit more light infantry, but overall these mediums are the sort of thing I'd want to field anyway. What have we got? More forest. Yes, please. Okay. Artillery. This could be awkward. Maybe get some guns there and some ready to move out to see past this forest and dominate that area. And for our cavalry deployment, maybe I should stretch out more, but I kind of like the idea of forcing the battle in this area here. In fact, to that end, what I could do... Nah, the field of fire is too poor. That's alright, we can sacrifice the guns if we need to. Alright, Balkan Light Horse, Tatters. Alright, 2 on each wing. Very good. Get our Marriott Sipahis. Our cavalry is largely going to be in reserve, not because we're going to play that defensively, but just so they can go whichever direction he deploys the bulk of his cavalry. Same with our veteran Janissaries, they'll go where they're needed. First priority is going to be seizing these woods and dominating the area around them with musketry, in theory. Alright, we've deployed, and now let's see how Leonard deploys. Lots of infantry. 5 units of cavalry on that wing, 6 on this wing. Right, let's spread our light cavalry out. Get our guns set up. And push the Janissaries and Azovs forward. Veterans following behind. Squishable cavalry. That rough ground could be useful if we can make it there. So could that. In rough ground, we have the melee advantage due to it being disordering terrain, although we will get shot at. The Sipahis of the Porta at least get plus 62 for quality, so they would still be at a disadvantage against average horse in melee, but it wouldn't be cataclysmic. Next turn. So the downside of moving medium foot into the forest is that we'll be moderately disordered, which will negatively affect our ability to shoot, but we also get cover from shooting. Okay, so we can't make it past this cavalry, so we're just going to run away. Next step. Push into the forest. Hello. How do you do? It's not what I meant to do, but so be it. There we go. We're going to try to avoid direct confrontation here, but try to force an advance under bad circumstances with missile fire from artillery and light cavalry, and also see off his dragoons before engaging the pike and shot, which we don't really have an answer to in open terrain. Next turn. Brave choice. We can hit them. And do we want to move out? If we move out, then we have to fall back while in charge range of this horse later. Ah, yes, yes, hello. Got to keep pressure on that unit of horse. And we've got to try to get our tatars behind. Break up that formation. Take cover in the rough. Very good. Alright, in the meantime, we have shooting cavalry here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units facing off against 5, maybe 6, 7. We can keep them, I suppose. 1 unit can join the infantry battle. Good. Half arc, no thank you. Full arc is what we want. Alright. I'm gonna get ground down here, I'm afraid. Gotta have patience though. Need these units to move in closer so I can shoot from cover. Next turn. I am deeply concerned about this unit. For that exact reason. Just ride right past them. And back and turn. Who can you hit? Too bad. Is it time? They're just so bad against cavalry. I don't think it is time. What about here? We shuffle here, and then next turn we can get into the rough, where we can do some work. Fall back. You can see the cavalry, I think I just don't want to move them into the open yet. Held firm. And veterans can also do something slightly risky and get ready to move into this rough. If we get confronted by cavalry, then our own cavalry moves out. It's looking bad. I don't really have an answer to a solid line of pike and shot yet until I can start to break them up, and I haven't created the conditions for that. Maybe next turn will show us some hope. Next turn. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have to attack with our cavalry, even though it's a bad idea, because we're not winning the infantry battle. The horse. Okay, first off, get in here, lock down that horse unit. Next, get in this forest and lock down this pike and shot. Alright, then this should be good because we get our swordsman POA unlocked because the pike and shot are disordered in the forest. Assuming our janissaries don't break. Okay, then what? Then we have to accept the possibility of our cavalry getting broken because we need freedom of movement here. Damn. Next up, artillery for extra cohesion, fire. And then we get our Sipahis the Porte in. Successfully cut me off here. And Marriott Sipahi. So we have no impact and no melee POA against any of his cavalry unless they disrupt first. And they haven't disrupted first, so it's looking rather hideous. Alright, we are also going to come out to fight here. We need a disruption. Nope. Alright. Do we charge? Impact is good. Oh, let's just ride past. Ride past. Go for the guns, go for the rear charges. If we have time, which is looking less and less likely. Next turn. No, we need more than that. Hold firm for the moment. Yeah, that's the problem without not having pikes. Oh, it's a massacre. I really wanted to stay in the forest, but I didn't feel that I could. Probably should have brought out my cavalry sooner. I didn't feel like I could do that either. But I guess I would rather have my cavalry collapsing than my infantry. Well, mercifully we took cover in the forest where being disordered does not really matter. They hold firm. Let's see here. Decisions. Unfortunately, we have to risk disruption now. I was really hoping to inflict disruption, but it was not to be. Well, this is okay because we have troop quality. That's the only reason it's okay. Do we do it, or do we contribute to this? Held firm again. Alright, let's threaten a flanking movement. Nope. Alright, charge instead or get shot at. Right. I think we go for the auto brake here. Right, you keep going for the guns. You, yep, keep going for those rear charges. Looking tough. Pretty interesting point from Leonard. He agrees that the lack of melee pistols is tough for an Ottoman force. He also thinks that had I kept my infantry in the forest, it wouldn't really have mattered because it's not a straight line and terrain doesn't tend to conform to the shape you really want it to defend any given position. But let's at least try to put some more hurt on before the end. And we're zone of control locked. Impact is acceptable. He did open himself up to at least one flank attack here. Got a rally, it looks like. Ugh. There's that lack of melee pistols. Ah, lucky us though. That could actually be extremely helpful. Okay, let's see what we can do here. First off, pop out here again and do some harassment. See if we can't. There we go. Even better. Now, move here, get that disruption. So now they're disrupted, so we've unlocked our swordsman POA. Excellent. Do the same here. Good. Then you... Let's just charge in. We have the advantage because, again, they are unsteady. And do we charge or do we fire? Let's charge. They held firm. Too bad. Frag them. Then lock in this horse. Now, hopefully, they break and we cause massive cohesion failure here. In the meantime, this is terrible. Yeah, I just bounce it, I guess. Ugh. Get a few more route percent out of that. Then turn so we don't get flanked. Run away if you can. Right. Get ready to use those light lances to charge. Lock them in. And then we're going to stand our ground, which is probably a terrible idea, but we'll try it anyway. Do we want to charge in or try to maneuver? I think probably want to attempt to maneuver in this direction. Can you hit anything? Yes. Okay. Here. Lock them in. And take out those guns. How's this going? Terrible. But this is going well. The question is, can we capitalize? I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is we're going to lose this fight here. We're going to lose our infantry. We're definitely going to win this, but the problem is once we've won it, so what? We've got a bunch of cavalry facing off against a bunch of infantry hiding behind rough ground with forests to cover them. So I think we'll inflict heavy losses and then run into a brick wall and lose. We'll see though. Next turn, Leonard says, not the best turn for my side. Maybe there is still a victory if you gain. Yeah, I still don't think so. But we'll do good damage here. Held firm. If we don't frag, it's fine. Alright, so it's fine for now. Hold firm, goddamn you. Oh no. Good. Guess they weren't keen on charging there. These units were both... Oh, no, they weren't. I like this. All right. Well, no question of what we're doing with this unit. And here, let's go ahead and charge. I was hoping we would go the other way. Alright, fine. We're gonna get flanked no matter what, so I'd rather lose these cheap Azaps and give our Janissaries a chance to recover. This will be a risky move. We're doing it. If they break, we could pursue to safety or to further charges. If not, we'll just get flank charged ourselves, but sitting there wasn't going to do much. Take cover. Good. They're disrupted. Now we go in. Now that they're disrupted, our swordsman POA is unlocked. This is terrible, so you can please leave. Alright, that'll do. We're ahead. I still think we'll lose unless we manage to gain an enormous advantage right away this turn. Alright, Leonard says that he thinks he saved it, but the whole thing will still last for some turns and probably be a race towards 60. That's too bad. Came pretty close. Yeah, this unit holding firm means my center is going to finish caving in. Held firm, that was key. If they'd broken, we could have pursued and rolled up the rest of the infantry. That would have been that, I think. Ouch, double drop. This could be good. They held firm, but we have the advantage for a turn. So rough ground is good, even if they rally up. they'll still be unsteady. Need to make sure we can threaten this frag unit even if our cavalry fails to break them. To auto-break them, we need to drop them to 237, so 19 casualties. I'm not sure if that's terribly likely. Are we winning this? No, we're not. So we'll want to set up the flank. Good. Okay, so how are we looking? This is okay. We're almost finished off here. So we'll have to form a new line, maybe here, anchored with the new right wing on this forest. It's already pretty messy, but it's going to get messier. Next turn. Rallied up there, wanting to pursue with the light horse. I think we were one casualty short of breaking that unit. We'll see. Ooh. If we'd held steady, it would be fine. We haven't, so surviving impact could be difficult. There we go. We are steady. If we hold that disrupted, we could still do okay in this melee. Well, five more casualties and they're done for as well. Can I do 5? Quite possibly. Yep. And scored a disruption. Okay. Now, if we're very lucky, we will pursue into... yes. Alright. Then... take cover in the woods. Might lose this light horse to a flank charge. Oh well. Go in pursuit. Good. Alright, that's what's left. Very good. There's a chance that that'll put him at 60, actually. But we'll see. It's a race to the bottom, as he said. Alright, so we pulled it off, and Leonard has a pretty in-depth analysis of what he thinks went wrong, and I think it's pretty much spot on. So he says, over the last 2 turns, I lost a lot of units to forced routes, and this allowed you some nice flanks. Thinks he should have kept his forces together and made a stand in the open. That would be where the swordsman POA would have come into play. Attacking the woods might have worked if I hadn't lost right, but I pushed it too far towards you, so it collapsed. Chasing the Balkan Lancer with 3 cavalry units over multiple turns was a total loss. Yeah, I mean, I did really want to use them, and I was annoyed that I couldn't, but overall, not having those cavalry units on me in the beginning was much more useful. These units could have smashed into your right and guaranteed me a quicker victory there. Yep, absolutely. The untrained infantry was also a mistake, as they're easy to break by combined cannon and musket fire. Yeah, and a lot of the time the raw pike and shot are a unit I bring along. It just might not be against the Ottomans, or at least not against the Ottoman infantry, which has so much firepower. Usually raw pike and shot is what I bring along to sort of pad my cavalry wings if I can. But like you said, in this case, it might have been too dangerous, too many bullets flying around for raw infantry. Okay. So I still do think that I was a turn or two too slow pushing up with my cavalry. I think if I had been more aggressive early on, I could have maybe pulled this off without losing my entire center, or close to my entire center. But really, I don't have too much to add to postgame other than what he said. And yeah, I mean, the main risk is the cavalry cannot fight formed Western cavalry in the open when they are steady. So you've got to find a way around that. In this case, I got flank attacks off, or fought them when they were already disrupted or disordered in this forest, for example. And then when I did have to take head-on fights, I, when possible, tried to do it with my superior units, the Sipahis of the Porte, who are armored and I think highly superior against his average cavalry, which as a points disparity is a waste of points for me, but the regular Temeriate Sipahis weren't really going to be able to do it. So yeah, I think we're both very surprised that I won this one, but that's why this game is fun. You get these wild swings of fortune. So a good game to Leonard, as always. I'm sure we'll meet again. Till next time.